game show 3 dimensions away from being in the Matrix. I'm your host 3D Jake, and today we're looking at The Matrix Path to Neo, released in 2005. The Matrix Path to Neo is a game that was developed by Atari and distributed by WB Games and Shiny Entertainment Games. And the game is essentially a tie-in game that consists of all three Matrix movies were basically the Path of Neo, where basically players are introduced, they play as Neo only, and he basically has to navigate through the all three movies. And so as you navigate, you can make morality choices. Okay, so for instance, you can make two different paths essentially in a way. So for instance, like if you were playing in the Matrix, the first movie, where the cops show up, okay, you have two choices. You could literally escape the cops, or you can get arrested just like in the movie and then play it out like in the movie. And if you play it out in the movie, pretty much it plays out like they show clips from the movie, which they show clips regardless, but like they'll show you like your fate. And so I really enjoy that aspect of it, and I also enjoy that at the beginning of the game, Morpheus, who Lawrence Fishburne does reprise his role from the game, from the movies into the game, and so he reprises his role as Morpheus, and essentially he hands you a red pill and a blue pill, and if you choose a blue pill, you basically take the blue pill, you wake up, and then end the game. That's literally how it does. But if you take the red pill, that's when the game starts. And I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed this game because you get to progress through all three Matrix movies, from Matrix to the Matrix Reloaded to the Matrix Revolution. This game came out way before Resurrection, so I'm sorry if that's what you're expecting the fourth film. The game also came out in 2005, so what are you gonna expect? The game is only exclusively made to the game is only available on older consoles. So if you have a PS5 or an Xbox Series X or a PC, unless you have a disc port for your PC, you cannot play this game. Like, the only three ways to play this game are essentially if you have the original Xbox from like 2005, or if you have a PS2, or if you have the PC ROM. Which personally, I think it would be easier probably to have the disc on PC. Or you can do it in an illegal method and pirate the game. But I'm not saying you should. I'm just saying if you wanted to, if you were feeling, criminal, today, you could do that. But I legally bought the game the old-fashioned way, PS2. I literally also bought the Matrix, Enter the Matrix, because I had it on PC, but then I had to get a new computer, and so I just rebought the damn thing because I'm like, I like the game, and I'm brand new too. So hey. Got them brand new, and so I literally have been just feeling Matrix fever lately, and so I guess since the fifth movie was announced, I was really willing to play this game up. So I'm like, what? I was like, what? I went, and so I was like, I'm gonna buy some games. So I bought Path of Neo because I remember playing it, enjoying it. I remember playing Enter the Matrix and Matrix, Path of Neo, and Path of Neo came out after the whole Matrix fever and everything, because everybody was, before the second movie came out, everybody, just like with Phantom Menace, Star Wars fever, everybody had Matrix fever in 2003. Everybody. And so basically, they released Enter the Matrix as a tie-in game to the movie. Well, it's not really a tie-in game, more of like it's a game that's set within the game, the movie Reloaded. So basically, you're watching out a quest that's played into the movie. That it's harder. I'll explain it once I do review that game. But essentially, that is like it's a movie within a game that's within a movie. So if that makes sense. But this is a game that is set within all three movies. That it's like basically a choose your own adventure with Neo in a way, where essentially, or think of like when you're playing Call of Duty or a Telltale game. In Call of Duty Black Ops 2, when you can choose, like you have two choices you can make. It gives you morality choices, and so just like with a Telltale game, that gives you morality choices. You only really have two choices in this game. It's like you can do it this way or this way, and I really enjoyed that. It gives you those choices, and it also gives you a cool Smith fight scene. There's also a giant scene where Smith becomes like a giant, like rock monster looking thing, and you're just like out of like concrete and everything. You're like, oh shit, I have to fight him. And I think those are cool things. Like the fight scene, I do kind of wish this game was built on modern consoles. Like I wish they had. Because one thing I am always for is game preservation. And I feel like the only way I literally had to buy this game again on PS2 to play this game. This game is not, or unless you have an old Xbox, and even like with Xbox, like you cannot play this game. If you really want to play this game right now, if I told you right now to go buy this game, you would literally have to buy a PS2 or an Xbox to play this game. And if you don't, or if you have a PC, you would have to buy the PC game because you can't go on Steam and buy it. Like, it's not available on the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, or the Steam Store. You're either going to have to pirate it, or you're going to have to go and buy the physical disc to play this game. And it's like, it's really more of an inconvenient. Just like, like, for instance, I can go and play a Star Wars game. I could easily, pretty much any Star Wars game I want. I can go up to the store, buy it, and play it. Even with the old graphics, I just kind of wish they would do that with the Matrix. Like, I wish there's technically three Matrix games, technically four if you want to be technical, but there's technically the Matrix Online, which came out and the servers are gone now, so you can't really play the Matrix Online anymore. But there was the Matrix Online, which was like kind of like Star Trek Online, it was a big giant Matrix online game, and then of course that went under like around 2009 or 2010. And then, of course, there's the Matrix. There's Matrix Awakens, which is like a tech demo, so it's not really classified as a game, though. And then there's these two games, which are the only physical games that are released that are actually playable, is Enter the Matrix and the Matrix Path of Neo. And I kind of wish that they would just put them on consoles. Like, they would just, preserve them, say, like, hey, we're not going to remaster it, we're just going to port it to PlayStation 5 and Xbox and Steam. I would be happy with that. That's fine, because then I would literally buy it a gift. If they literally announced tomorrow, hey, we're putting these two games on the PS5 store, I would buy both of them. Because you know what? I could play them digitally, and if these games ever get, honestly, the graphics are going to look so much better on a PS5, even with their, these are 480p, even with, I have, a converter, HDMI converter, attached to my PS2, and it still doesn't run as good as, say, my PS5 could with them. So I'm just saying, just like with Battlefront Remaster, yeah, they upscaled the graphics a little bit, but still, I guarantee you, if you were to download the old Battlefront games, you could probably play it with the same, almost the same rate. So I'm just saying, that's one thing I really wish they would do. And I understand now that PlayStation just signed a contract where they're going to port older games, so I'm hoping that this game makes the cut. I honestly understand, there are certain games like The Simpsons Hit and Run and other games that might not see the game, especially licensed movie games, because licensed movie games are a big gray area, because that has to deal when original games, for instance, Star Wars, there's only two people you're dealing with. You're dealing with Lucasfilms, and you're dealing with the publisher. Mostly you're dealing with Lucasfilms. Lucasfilms basically pays the publisher, so Lucasfilm owns the game. So when Disney buys it, so Disney can easily port the game. Compared to this, where you have Atari, you have Warner Brothers, then you have Shiny Games, and you have to go through three different companies just to get the game. Because Warner Bros., even though they technically own the game, Atari technically made the game. So then you got to go through multiple publishers, just like with The Simpsons Hit and Run. The Simpsons Hit and Run has multiple publishers, and so you basically have to go through multiple people to get this game published. You can't, Simpsons Hit and Run will probably never see light of day again unless you have it on PC or buy the Xbox version and play it on your 360 backwards capability. That's the only way you're probably going to play that game. Or if you have a PS2. Just like with Matrix, the only difference is it's not backwards capability. And I think I'm really for hoping that future, because, just like with movie preservation, I believe in game preservation. Now, I will say, this game does have, this game does not have Keanu Reeves or Price, even though his likeness is used in a PS2 style. It's not Keanu Reeves. They show clips of Keanu Reeves throughout the movies, but, it's not him. And even though his face is on the cover of this game, it is a guy who did his voice in Mad TV, is the voice of it, even though Keanu Reeves' likeness. And I always used to think that if their likeness is on the cover, it's them voicing it. But no, that's not the case. It's not like with Enter the Matrix, where they shot Jada Pinkett Smith, shot herself on screen, and then she, the motion capture, then she recorded her own lines. No, Lawrence Fishburne was the only one they got back. And then Lawrence Fishburne, and that was it. I think they might have got Hugo Weaving. I could be wrong. But I know the Wachowskis, I do make a cameo as themselves at the end of the game, which is weird and everything. But, hey, it's a kind of fun game. I do like how, the combat is pretty cool and everything, and I do think the game mechanics are awesome. I do kind of wish that when the game does feel like a love letter to the movies, but at the same time, I kind of think some of the choices, they're so dumb. There's, for instance, when you're being chased by cops, one of the cop falls over off the cliff, and one goes, "Oh my god!" And those are just dumb moments like that, and just play out the game or something. Or there's moments where Neo is running away from the cops, and then he just starts to fight them. or there's different scenes throughout the movies that we are fighting these people, and the combat, it plays out almost like this is supposed to be like a shot for shot, but I understand because of the technology differences, it cannot match the movies, and that kind of sucks. Just like they're like, this is supposed to happen next, but this scene doesn't happen next, so that we saw a cutscene because, and I understand it's because of limitations of technology, we can't play this whole scene out. Like, that bummed me out because I'm like, oh, are we about to get this scene? Like, nope, it's just a cutscene. Fuck, and just stuff like that, and it kind of bums me out. But I mean, I do like this, and there's a lot of cool, fun nods to the movies, and I do like that how it has the secret ending and everything, which is really cool. And I do like that, how it does feel like this is a Matrix love letter to the movie. So if you ever wanted to play through all three movies, in a way, this is the closest you will probably get to that. And if I had to give this game a score, I would give it a 7 out of 10. Thank you so much.
The Matrix Path of Neo, featuring a one-of-a-kind ending by the Wachowski brothers. You are the one. In stores November 8th.